Joseph now ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Minneapolis. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing to start here is Tua. Escaping the pressure right. And his first pass is incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Ready up.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. And they'll send the slot in motion left. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Tua now on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. And he's able to knock that one away.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. Tua going to throw. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. On 1st down, Tagovailoa. That is caught by Waddle. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0.
Vikings, nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for me.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive with Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points.
They're trying for Reagor, but it's intercepted. picked off by Keion Crossen. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And they approach this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first two throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on third down to get their momentum going again.
Gets this one to Hill. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. And wind up getting just a yard. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. It's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially to play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Third down, here's a run by Cook. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down, seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. Touchdown, Dolphins. Mike Gesicki, 26 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0.
Vikings, nothing. Jason Sanders.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Cousins to throw it this time. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Noah Igbinoghene. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
And partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Raheem Mostert taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the route is on here in this 1st half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. And the 3rd interception thrown by Cousins. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude they had.
It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter.
Here we go.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
1st and goal, Miami.
Here's Mostert. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this 1st half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. Again, it's Mostert. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Mostert will score. Touchdown, Miami. So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, I almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the route is on here in this 1st half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them.
Now Cook hit, and he lost the football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. They complete it to Hill. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
A 7-yard pickup brings up second.
From the 22, Tua. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Complete to Tyreek Hill. First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Ready?
On first and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Touchdown! Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins are able to add on to their first half lead. Sanders on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
First down 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson.
That's good for the Vikings. First down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
First down. Here's Cousins. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Cousins to throw it. And quickly finding Reagor. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run. What the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Keion Crossen. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. An excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Got a man here, it's Wilson. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, 26 yards. And the Dolphins extend their lead yet again. Well, I'll say one thing, Charles. You're getting really good practice here in breaking down touchdowns. What did you see there?
Well, the same thing I've seen over and over and over in this first half. My scintillating analysis, Brandon, this offense is absolutely taking no prisoners.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Okay, ready?
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Another try after the first down sack. Tua gonna look deep for Wilson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Joseph's got it, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see it. Offense and the defense kind of mix and match with each other trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, their offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Tua, the final shot before half. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Vikings 3.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On second down, it's Cook again. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Tua now on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now Tua. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down. Then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back. But it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Following the interception, Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
4 yards. Second and 6.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins quickly to Hockenson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
Now Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Cousins. Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings take advantage of the short field and finish it off with a quick touchdown. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. So they get one score back, but still a long ways to go here in this third quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Still comfortably on top, third quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. On 1st down, they go with Mostert again. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up second.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. In motion, Hill. They'll try and run here with Mostert. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Tua on 4th down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Wilson. And he will have a Dolphins 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Looking to pass. Tua going right back to Wilson. And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look? And now off to the races down the right side. 30, 10, 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 83 yards. And the Vikings are able to at least get one score back. Joseph connects on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line.
From the 41, Tua. That one complete to Hill. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
First down,
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he stopped immediately there. 3 quarters in the books. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
First and goal.
They'll run with Mostert. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal. He'll try again. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Taken at the goal line. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football, you often find good running lanes.
Hill is going to take it out of the end zone, and he returns this to the 22.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. So they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
25 yards there on the catch and run. Tua now on first down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1st and goal.
Tua going to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. Sanders now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
The score, Dolphins 66, Vikings 25.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins gives way to Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. The Vikings on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw, Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Up the middle they go with Mostert. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Tua. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. But this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there's a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And a decisive advantage became even more decisive. They already had the win in hand, but they keep pressing the tempo, and they pile on with another touchdown reception.
Would you consider that touchdown a reward to all the tight ends on their roster for their effort today? Not just running their routes, but all the time they spent in the trenches, laying down blocks, doing the little things to help that offense succeed. And for doing all of that, they definitely want one of their tight ends to get a touchdown to really seal this blowout.
Take it in at the 3. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of bringing things up because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now Tua. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have got his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
Tagovailoa going for it on fourth down. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
the members on and get it going Donkey Kong. They got the hand dollar, will you give a dog a bone? I'm like, oh, nah, you gotta get it on your own. They get an attitude, I'm like, you better check your tone. They ain't got no job, need someone to take her home. I hop up in the car and whip like Indiana Jones. Going George Lucas, now I'm out here killing clones. Coming in strong like, tear it down, tear it down. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Boosted up my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Everybody eating, it's a party.